Well, our next guest on KT and the Trout left the safety of her home in Texas with only $100, packed up, and yes, went to Hollywood. And now, years later, she's become the CEO of a very successful publicity firm in LA. Not one office, but four. And her story is what's next on KT and the Trout.
Hooray for Hollywood, that screwy ballyhooey Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic, and just a good-looking tan, and any barmaid can be a star maid if she...
I'm KT.
And this is the Trout, and welcome to our, I've lost count, 12th, 13th episode.
I think we're in the 12th.
13,
yeah, 11, 12, 1. It doesn't matter. We're here.
We're here. We got a great show today because I have a good friend of mine coming on.
I'm excited about this one.
Are you?
I am.
It's not what you told me earlier, but that's okay.
Well, but I am.
So before I forget, I always forget to do this. Remember, push the little button down there that says subscribe if you're a new subscriber.
Hit that bell.
How's it sound?
Sounds good to me.
It sounds good. And tell your friends about it. We have some great guests coming up. I have a wonderful producer and engineer out of the UK coming on next week, which is going to be fun. And then we have a very well-known country CW writer, songwriters written for Randy Travis, Blake Shelton, and other people. He's coming on.
We've been international lately. We've been like, we try to start this whole thing to be in the US, but I feel like everything we do and is like all international. People.
That's because people in the United States, they don't want to talk to us. They know who we are. I'm not talking to those guys. So, and then we have another UK artist coming on in December, a well-known artist there. And so we are doing everything. If you listen to this, you can probably, well, you'll hear it on our podcast. As we say, our podcast is cast is everywhere. You can hear it everywhere. And this is our YouTube channel. So let me just introduce our guest. She is the CEO of Icon Public Relations in LA. And I love reading.
What a great name. What a great name.
So it says here, Icon Public Relations is a Los Angeles-based public relations firm that specializes in entertainment, shining light on groundbreaking women, digital creators, branding CEOs, and companies, and music. That's what we're going to talk about today. We strive to create campaigns that build global brands utilizing unique strategies that are catered to each individual client. Wow,
I love it.
That's so corporate, dude. That is so corporate.
It.
So Heather Besignano, or got close to it, probably the real name, is a friend of mine, but here's an interesting side story to this. She's the CEO. She's a Houston native, and it says here in her bio, the CV, I guess we like to call it, Heather is known for bringing her Southern charm and marketing expertise. So we're going to expect that.
I'm just impressed with the offices all over the place. I want to know all about that. Like, you
gotta get there. Give me a second. Give me a second. She represents some celebrities. She won A-listers. I Am Bailey. I always pronounce it probably as wrong. What was that show called? It was only on for like 10 years. Something. What was it called?
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang. Yeah, I think a couple people watched that. Yeah. She was in the cast of that.
Who?
And I can tell you, I've known Heather for 11 years, I think. And the
I'm
thing
impressed,
about it
Heather.
is, well, no, that she still even talks to me. That's what I'm impressed about.
Yeah.
She's had that lady for that long a time. She's been a client for years.
Amazing. It's amazing.
And some of the other people she's
I'm here to
represented,
learn.
Alicia Silverstone, Kate Siegel, actress, and Melissa, I'm just getting this off her CV. Melissa Rivers, which of course is Joan Rivers' daughter, and other people besides that. So Heather, welcome to our show. And oh, by the way, just real quick, Heather she's the CEO of this company, and she has offices in Los Angeles, Nashville, New York City, and my favorite city, Dallas.
London.
We need one on London. You need one in London.
That's awesome.
And she's married to a musician and has a wonderful daughter. And I've seen all of this before she was married. I knew her before she was with Icon. And I saw her when she got married and then when she had the baby. I wasn't there, but kind of followed her life. So welcome, Heather. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Definitely
Thank you for
appreciate
having
your
me.
time. Yes, thank you so much.
So we're going to start at the beginning. You're a Texas native, and you're a story that I think is always interesting to me. People that give up something and just say, I'm going to go do something. So how old were you when you said, hey, Mom, I'm going to California and I want to be a publicist or a music person?
I think I was 25 or 26 when I did that. So actually a little bit later in life than I think a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
And did you come with like $3 in your pocket? Like
$100. I had 2 suitcases and $100. I put all my stuff in my mom's garage and really
Wow.
didn't have many friends here at all. I had some acquaintances that said I could sleep on their couch. So I kind of couch hopped for a while. And I worked at the body shop, not the strip club, but the store. You have to clarify that in LA.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
I
the body
understand.
shop is very
I
famous.
understand. Yeah, I got it. Got
So
it.
I worked at the body shop as the assistant manager, and I really had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that what I was doing in Houston wasn't going to be it for me. I really wanted to work in A&R. Honestly, I had no ideas that I would end up in the world that I'm in now.
Yeah.
And so did you get your chance to ever do anything in AR?
No. There's this list out here that I think probably still gets circulated, the UTA list from the talent agency. And it has all these like assistant positions and intern positions that people can apply for. And I was applying I had a friend that was sitting it, just trying desperately to get a job in the industry however I could. And back then, that was kind of the fall of a lot of the record labels, as Maverick and all of these people that were folding up well.
Yep.
So, in fact, a couple times that I got leads to maybe potentially get an assistant position somewhere at a record label, people were like, "Don't do it because you'll be out of a job soon." So,
Yeah.
happened.
That's crazy.
Isn't it notorious back then, because things change so much now, but isn't it notorious they got rid of people at the end of the year? A&R people were like, hey, great year, but we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
We'll find some
Very fickle industry.
some eager young kid to come in and find that band for us.
Yeah. So you then, how then did you get into the PR business then?
I was at the roast of Gene Simmons at the Key Club, which is no longer here. I went with a friend who is a world-renowned DJ, and he introduced me to his friend Amanda. Her husband and boyfriend was styling the Simmons family for the roast, and I started talking to her, and she worked at a PR firm. And she said, I know you say that you want to work in music, but I really think you have the personality for PR. Send me your resume. And I was like, okay, well, it has like body lotion and bartending on it, but I'll send it over. And I did. And I think like 2 months later, I got a call from the owner of the company that she was doing interviews for an assistant. And I came in, got hired on the spot. And I think that was like a Thursday, and I worked my first red carpet Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you were pretty much right place, right time, and kind of worked your way up into it. So how do you feel that position is valid today? Like, is it still a very valid position when it comes to public relations for artists today?
You mean for like the position I started in?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was an assistant to the owner of the company. Actually, one of the 2 people who started the music department there, they were only entertainment and lifestyle before that.
Killer.
Interest in music artists never really went away. So I started that. But yeah, I mean, I think that this job isn't rocket science, but I think that it's definitely a certain type of personality does well in it. It's a lot about nurturing relationships I feel very strongly that anybody should start in a lower position at any job, no matter if they're given an opportunity to
Yeah.
because you really get to know all of the inner workings of
Yeah, that's how you learn. Yeah, for sure.
You learn. I mean, I'm also a strong believer that like not everybody should go to college unless you're trying to get a PhD. I'd rather see
Exactly.
work as a bartender or a waiter for a year so that they understand how to treat people.
Yeah, no, I get it. That makes total sense. Yeah, it makes total sense.
In fact, how I met her, I was on a board chair of a big national organization, the local one here in the Dallas area, and I said, I need to get somebody famous to play in our golf tournament. And the board said, well, go find somebody. So okay.
So easy.
And so, well, it's so what you
easy.
do. So I'm watching the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson one night. Actually, I'd recorded it. And I watched the next day, and then Wendell Middlebrooks, who's not with us anymore, rest in peace. He was a great guy. He was on there. He just was funnier than hell. I just go, oh my God, this guy's funny. And then he says, I'm from Dallas. And I went, that's it. And I always had this weird thing I said to myself, that guy's going to be sitting next to me in a golf cart one day. I mean, that's just kind of the way my brain works. So I called up the Ferguson show, and I'm going like, yeah, they're going to blow me off. And I got to him. I told him the truth, who I'm doing. I'm just looking to get a hold of, Wendell's agent, whomever. And they gave me we're going to pass it on to the segment producer. And I went, well, I'll never hear from them the rest of my life. It's like next year at this time, I'll get it. No. So about 3 or 4 days later, I get an email from Heather. And she was representing Wendell as the PR person. And that was my first foray into working with people in Hollywood. And so we worked out the details, and true enough, about a month later, Wendell was sitting next to me in that golf cart. What does a PR person actually do? If you're outgoing, and I mean, seriously, I mean, everybody hears about PR.
No, it's a good question.
What do you do?
It's a great question. Most people don't know what we do. So what a publicist does is we take our clients, whether that's film and television actors, music artists, a brand, an author, what have you, and we pitch them to the media. So anytime you see somebody on Good Morning America, if you hear them on a podcast or radio, if you pick up a magazine and you read about the best new hair tool or, Kate Upton or whatever, that is the work of a publicist. So our job is to maintain public image, to help them promote whatever projects they're working on. We're also involved in brand image, like, their glam and styling, and, we're there with them on red carpets, and we're listening in on interviews and kind of, taking in all the good and the bad. That's the overall gist.
But I mean, so when it comes to, say you're new into this field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's just throw him out there. Let's just throw that guy out there. You're new. He says, you know what? I want to use you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then do you put your fishing pole out there and you got this big weight, right? So you call USA Today. Just example. So do you throw that weight around? Do you like, look, I got Leonardo DiCaprio. I can bring him to you. We can do this. We can do that. How do you communicate with, is it who you have or who you can talk to? If that makes sense, right? So
I think you're at, so I think the question that you're asking is kind of how do those bookings happen? And
yeah.
I mean,
how do you get that person to those peeps? Do you have
it's relationships? It's knowing the talent bookers and the segment producers at the talk shows. It's knowing, the editors and the journalists at different online outlets and digital magazines, the newspapers, and also kind of, they are in a tough position now because a lot of the journalism world has really a lot of its writers, especially for some of these major publications. These people are doing more than one person's job for the most part. So a lot of it is knowing your audience and knowing if this person is the right person to even be bringing to them. You know, sometimes out pitching the entertainment editor at USA Today per se, but actually going on the website and seeing who recently wrote about something that's similar.
Damn.
That person might be more interested than just an overall editor who's like, you know, 5,000 emails a day, and they're just like pass. You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's relationships, but it's also like, yeah, if you have Leonardo DiCaprio, let me tell you, you're not having to.
Well, you're not having problems, right? So I went
they're
to the top
calling
echelon.
you. They're calling
You know,
you.
I totally went to the top echelon. So for someone getting into this business, it ain't cheese and crackers. I mean, you've got to, you've got to go out there and get your clients, right? So how did you get your clients? How did you get the people to be able to present them to those? Like, I don't know. It's hard. Like so you're from Dallas, right? You're from,
Houston. She's from Houston.
I'm from H-Town, baby.
She's Houston. Yeah, she's Houston.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
When you went into this, you knew you had to get some A-list clients. It's not like you're just jumping in and all of a sudden you're opening up, you're putting in 25 cents and then you're just going to wait to see if you get a George Clooney or if you get a this. So there is some work that you have to put in to be able to present. I mean, it's not as you've been in the industry for how long? How long you've been doing this?
This is 13 years.
13 years.
But let me interject.
Day one. I want to know day one when you sat down, you were like, okay, this is what I want to do. Day one. How long did it take you to get to day success?
Well, let me tell you something. Day one, I didn't know that this is what I wanted to do. What I knew is that it was a job in the entertainment industry, and I hoped it would point me in the direction I wanted to do. Day one, my first day sitting down outside of my old boss's office.
Yep.
Little assistant desk there.
Yep.
She welcomed me and then had a meeting to go to, and she literally like came in with this piece of paper and was like, we're pitching this client. Call these editors and see if they want to talk.
What?
I didn't know who the hell the client was. I knew nothing about her project. And this was back in the day when you called people. You didn't email.
Cold call.
So I was like calling people I'd never spoken to, and a lot of these editors were not very nice. One person was like, "No, click," and I
yeah.
What I'm doing.
You didn't even throw in the Southern accent. You didn't even want to do that out there. I guess you didn't want to go, hey, I'll do a little Texas thing for it.
My old boss used to get mad at me because I would say yes, ma'am.
Oh,
that's yes, Texas. Ma'am, yes, sir. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. No.
But you said that sounded like she was old.
Chivalry is not bliss when it comes to corporate, like, cutthroat.
I was like, I'm sorry. I thought I was right.
That's the way we all were raised. But what's interesting, your business is, because when people come to me and they say, hey, can you get a celebrity thing? I always want to go to your type business, because here's the difference. If I call their agent up, they get a percentage of what they're going to want. If I say to them, hey, look, I'm a president of a nonprofit. Can you represent ABC? Can you, would you be interested, or she be interested in stopping by and saying hi? And the agent would say yes for fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, but a PR person looks at it and go, is this going to help my client?
Right. Because it ain't about the business, it's about the client.
It's about helping the client.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
will it help them, or is it something that I know that they're passionate about? For example, Wendell, I knew that he was passionate about Texas, specifically the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I knew that was something that would speak to him. That's part of being able to do a good job for your clients, is knowing what they're passionate about, and really kind of utilizing that in all ways, whether you're doing it to help their forward facing profile, or if you're doing it just to like fill up that spot in their soul that they want to, work good deeds in.
So how many people you have working? I look, but tell me how many people you have working for you now in your office.
Let's see. There's 3 more in LA, 1 in New York, 2 in Nashville, and then the Dallas office is kind of its own entity.
Okay. So
Amazing,
when you,
man.
I,
It's
and I
absolutely
know
amazing.
it's interesting to me because when we've talked, we never really spent any time. It was emailing or texting or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know you're passionate about the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking to 2 guys that've been in the music industry their whole lives, never made it big, but we're there. And now
Speak for yourself.
well, you're going to, I'm going to help you get there. Just don't forget me. But here's the thing. So let's kind of segue to the music side of the business, because you are in that and you want to do it, but it is so difficult now. I mean, now with the way, and I was talking to this songwriter yesterday, there's no money in the business.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if you're not
I
going
would
on
say
tour,
what she does is probably not even 10% music. I mean, are you
she
full
wants to do
on?
it. I know Heather likes to
I
do the
used to
music.
do a ton of music artists, and
Yep.
you're saying, Rick, the industry has changed so drastically.
So
I'm just, one of the things about me that I feel is one of my better qualities is I'm very honest. I have that good Southern honesty. And I won't take on clients if I don't feel like there's going to be media interest, or,
it's amazing. Yep.
if it's
Yep.
going to be too expensive for them, and they're taking their only 10 grand to put into PR. Like,
Yep.
be very honest with people these days and say, you know what? $10,000 worth of PR isn't going to do anything for your music.
Nothing.
Why don't you invest that in music videos or Spotify streaming or whatever,
Right.
marketing wise? Because the honest to God's truth is, and I hate to discourage people, but like, I think Taylor Swift's family spent like $1 million before she became
Thank you.
Swift.
Thank you.
It's very difficult, and
Yes.
I mean, it's, if you're an electronic artist, obviously that's, electronic hip hop pop is kind of where music focuses these days.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Easier for you.
Yep.
But even the pop artists that I've worked with, I mean, I was working with the late Christina Grimmie until she was murdered.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, she had a lot of big name people helping her. She was on The Voice. She had a YouTube following.
Yep.
In her favor. And she was just on the precipice of getting to a point that you could maybe consider her a pop star. But like,
Right.
said her
Right.
name before she was shot, I don't know that you would have had as many people say, I know who Christina is.
That's crazy.
But obviously she became a bigger name because it was national news.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it didn't help her any. So,
No.
So, and the sad part about that came real close to the passing of Wendell too. They were very close, and it was for a young lady of your situation having that happen to you, to your clients. I know it was devastating to you, but so you had to overcome that, and then you said one day, "Okay, I'm going to go start my own agency." I mean, come on.
That was the end of 2017. I left my firm that I was with for 10 years and told all my clients and started my LLC.
Why not? Hell yeah.
Why not? And then I found out the day after Christmas that I was pregnant.
Surprise.
Why not start a new company and have a baby?
And then have a baby.
Yeah.
Why not?
We were also contemplating moving to Nashville that coming year. And I was like, I think moving across the country might get taken off the list after starting a company and having a baby. I think we're good.
So when it comes to clients, what are you passionate about? Is it modeling? Is it music? Is it acting? I mean, what is your passion when it comes to promotion or pushing someone? What do you get excited about?
I get excited not necessarily for the thing that they're promoting, though I will say the thing that I look for in my clients is longevity. Like I'm not looking for like the 15 minutes of fame person. I'm looking
Yeah.
for, I really see true passion from them in their career and where they want to go with it. You know, I've remade careers, I've started careers.
Amazing. Yep.
You know, what I still get excited about to this day and keeps me doing this job is when you get that client their first late night talk show, when you
Oh,
get
wow.
their
Yeah.
first print magazine cover, when they have their first big red carpet for their first big film premiere, or
Awesome.
million streams on Spotify, like those
Yeah.
like big moments in somebody's career that you get to celebrate with them.
Yeah. Those
Part
one-offs,
I really like.
those one-offs for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the Southern person. That's the Southern in you. I mean, because, you know, I think the one thing that I like doing is help. Obviously, you know that because I worked for a nonprofit for a long time. But I think that is the joy. I can see it. I mean, I can see it because even if you said, okay, they're going to be worth a gazillion dollars 2 years from now, I ain't.
That's what it's about.
But that's not, no, I'm just saying. But the fact that you were part of that, and hopefully they thank you and remember you. I mean, you look at Maya Bailey. I mean, every time I see anything about her, I text her because when I saw that she got the Jeopardy gig, I went, "This is getting." I mean, going from Big Bang to that, but
Yeah.
you told me, you know, so. And I know the other thing because Caleb and I were going to talk about, KT and I were going to talk about was, and exactly what he asked was, you got people that probably, you're a publicist? Hey, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in a band. And I know because AR people, because I was in a band and you were trying to get to the point where the AR people could come and listen to you and go, no, sorry, we're not going to do it. We don't like it. But you got to be hit up a lot by people that find out who you are. And so, but you can't also discount them because they, you know, there might be somebody you go, oh, this, yeah, come on over. I need to talk to you. So that's part of your job too. And then the other part is for me would be the phoniness of where you are and the people you work with. And you get to find out, I assume, what these people really are like instead of like their facade that they put out there. And I've always said this, and I've told this to other people. Some of my favorite musicians I'd love to meet. I don't want to meet them because then if I find out what they're really like, I may be sorry I ever met them. But that's your job. That's your job to go out and meet these people and go, yeah, this guy's a jerk, but we need to get him on Jimmy Kimmel tomorrow night.
You know what? I don't represent jerks.
I wouldn't think so.
I've done it in the past, and quite honestly, you know, it put me in a very bad state health-wise, and I just decided that there's no amount of money worth that in the entire
Good for you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good for you.
I like to say every person has their kinky kinks, and people have to remember that if you're representing music artists, talent, what have you, they're still human beings. They're going to have bad days just like the rest of us.
Awesome.
I don't work with people who are inherently not good people because it just, again, like feeding your soul, I just can't do it. I don't care who you are. If you're a shit,
and I mean, you're going to know that when you
Well,
meet
that's
them.
true.
You're
I mean,
gonna know that when you they introduce themselves to you. And I mean, I would totally assume that you're only going to represent people that you feel that you can represent, right? If there's some guy that comes in and he's just a oosh, and I feel that you would be able to have the ability to know that person is not someone you can represent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember the story that I asked Heather one time about this guy named Harvey. We won't use his last name. And I said,
whine?
Yeah, I'm not going to whine right now. So I said to her, I said, I think it'd be kind of interesting to meet him. And she says to me, you never want to meet him. And I went, and then I thought, wow, that was kind of cold. And then, and then later it comes out and I go, I know now why she said that, because she knew something that I didn't know.
I mean,
everybody
I would
else.
assume the industry's like that, man. I mean, it's I don't know. I've dealt with a lot of the snakes in the grass, right? I've been bit by a few of them. I know that pain. I've felt that pain before, and I kind of took a different path. So, Yeah, it's a hard road for sure. And I would assume that what you do is no easier than that road travel, right?
No, and I've been disappointed a couple of times by some people that I've met, but I will say I've been more pleasantly surprised than
Cool.
disappointed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
That's karma. You've done good in your life. That's what karma does, right?
Well, I mean, it starts that she's a good person. That's where it starts. I mean, that's
Exactly.
it. And she's a
Exactly.
Texas native, so what, and she likes Whataburger. So other than that,
Right.
what else do you need to know? She's from Texas. She likes Whataburgers. That's it.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
That's it.
That's
Success.
And you're close because you're in Arkansas, so you were kind of close, but it's.
I was.
So if you're, and when I run into young people that want to get in the music business, or I tell them it's the business of music, I always say, don't. And but I'm just kidding. So somebody comes to you that's young and says, I really want to get in the whatever. I want to be a movie star. I want to be on a TV show. Or I want to be. What's your guidance on that? What do you tell them?
I tell them that they got prepared for a long road.
Yeah.
And if you want to be an actor, that you better, take some acting classes, do some group. I'm serious, not because I think people are bad actors, but a lot of these people are professionally trained. They do improv and they've done the acting classes, and you can't just cold call an agent or a manager.
No.
A lot of these people that are found, it's because I have a close friend out here that's a manager, and she is from Dallas originally, and she finds a lot of talent from Dallas area because there's a very well-renowned acting coach from the area.
Yep.
She actually worked with when she was younger, and so she has an eye on people that are coming out of that area, and she knows what to look for. And those are the types of things you have to do, these stories of Brad Pitt in the chicken suit outside of whatever chicken shop out That crap doesn't happen anymore. Nobody's walking, and it's the same for music.
That's 20 years ago.
Right. It's the same for music artists. Nobody's walking into
Nope.
these days and being like, oh my God, I'm giving you a record deal.
Yeah.
1983.
No.
It's not happening.
No.
You have to work your ass off to do anything you want in this world, just period.
And it's
well,
interesting.
and I also think that, and this is, I hate saying this, but I think that the music industry and being a musician, being an actor, honestly, I feel that those days are gone, right? I don't know, I'm not going to say full on gone, but, it's totally changed from where we were when we, I've done music for 20 years, right? I feel like I'm an amazing artist, right? I feel like
he's good. And he's also an engineer. He's a trained engineer.
I can sing any style of music you want, but when it comes down to it, it is really all who you know, what you know, and it's just, I don't know, man.
So here's the thing, though, Heather. Your husband's a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And he just finished. Tell us a little bit. I know I don't have a lot of time left because I know you got to head out. But tell us about him and his new project that he just finished, which was interesting to me.
Well, so he just finished so 2 projects that we're talking about. So Killing Eleanor, which is available now, and anybody that's listening to this or watching this should go check it out. It's a really great film, written by Annika Mark. She also plays the lead. Jenny O'Hara is playing opposite of her, Betsy Brandt, who is in Breaking Bad, and Jade Kazmarek.
I love it.
Actors.
I love it.
Dragonberg. That's a pretty special film. It's a Right to Die film. My husband and I are very good friends with the director Rich and the lead actress Annika. The very special honor of being able to score that film.
Killer.
They learned to play the cello for the end music. So that just came out. That's available on VOD. But the film that he's currently working on that's in post-production is Mayim's film that she wrote and directed. It's called As Sick as They Made Us. It has Dustin Hoffman and Candice Bergen, Simon Helberg, also from Big Bang Theory, Diana Agron.
It's killer.
Was she the executive producer on it?
She's the director. I'm sure she is executive producer.
Oh, okay.
She wrote the film and she.
Oh, so she wrote the script. So she wrote, okay.
So he is currently in the midst of working on that score.
Awesome.
And we will see what's to come of that probably in 2022.
Yeah.
What don't realize is movies get made like years in advance before everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah.
You work on something now, it might be 3 years from now or it comes out.
Right.
Especially if you're working on a CGI thing. It's all
it takes a lot of time.
And you're like, how do I keep myself going? Because that was 3 years ago. I look a little different now 3 years later. So what would you say if I wanted to, I mean, what drives you? Is it getting new clients or helping the existing ones become better? I mean, what you get up every morning other than your kid getting you up, but you kind of come in the office, you drive in the office, you got to do this over and over again. What is the passion part for you that you love doing?
I mean, I think it's just, like I said before, it's well, first of all, this job's good for me because I have ADHD and that's a real thing. I was on Ritalin as a kid and there's no way.
Me too.
Oh, you think? I couldn't tell.
He knows me too.
So
I told him to take those meds before he came on, but no, he didn't listen to me.
Well.
I need things to be changing all the time. Like I can't do every day the very same thing. That gets very boring for me. My needs to move very quickly.
That's awesome.
It's very helpful that I have multiple campaigns I'm always working on. I'm, pitching various different styles of clients for different projects. So, it's just every day's different. And I like that. And I like, again, reinventing careers. I like, telling stories of people. I really, when I'm first begin working with somebody, I always really find out their passions, philanthropic interests, where they came from, what's special about them, like what's here besides them. And getting people excited about that person and their story is what I like, people to hear their voice, and especially if they're doing something that's helping others in this world. I really love that. I'm very close to a lot of my clients. I would consider many of them to be friends.
You're awesome. Yeah, no. Just the way you talk, that's great.
I love that. I love helping them pursue their dreams. Well,
what's your sign?
I'm the last day of Taurus and the first day of Gemini.
Yeah, join the club. I'm right there with you.
What are you? When's your birthday? When is your birthday?
I'm May 25th, so I'm kind of like right on the cusp of Taurus and Gemini.
I'm May 22nd.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I knew there was something special about you.
Yeah, that's where the ADHD comes from. Is the dual sign.
Exactly.
I don't know who you
That's
are
awesome.
today.
This is getting too deep for me now. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Please stop
We
it.
have a special bond that you would never understand, Mr. Trout.
Oh my God.
I don't want to know. I don't.
That's awesome.
Rick, what it means is that I'm stubborn, but I'm crazy.
Yes.
But here's the thing, though, and I will tell you that from personal discussing or doing things with her, she has a huge Texas heart. And I know that. She's not going to tell you that, but I know she does. And she could easily become that B word if she, I mean, you could. I mean,
brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. That's it. Brilliant. Hello. Anyway, but she's not. And I think that maintaining that sanity and growing your business is really cool. And our goal in this YouTube is to get people to know people like you, Heather, because it's interesting to me, and KT and I were talking about it before. I love talking to people because I like where they're coming from. And I always say, if I know where you're coming from, I'm pretty well sure I know where you're going. And so I was a little surprised that you started your own agency, but I'm so happy that it's doing well.
That's awesome.
And it's obviously you're doing okay. It's probably not where you want it to be, but you know, being in this, and we're joking around, but I would make a call in London right now and say, I know somebody that needs to represent you, because I pitched her a couple of people. But so at the end here, and I know you got to run, and we want to wrap this up. I just want to tell you how much we appreciate you coming on, because this is one of those things that we
probably one of the best interviews we've had,
and it's fun for us, and we're not looking to make $1,000, $1 million, whatever on this. We just like talking to people like you and hearing more about it, because if you talk to people on the street and say, "Oh, I talked to a publicist," they're going to go, "What is that?"
Yeah.
And I would tell them, "Do you remember the James Bond movie just came out? Yeah. Remember how Daniel Craig was on every single show? That was her.
That's her.
He was everywhere." And that's what they do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so tell us just real quick, what's coming up that we need? You got anything exciting coming up that you can kind of share with us now, or anything?
I mean, in terms of my clients, there's so much going on.
Who's a client that we should go, that you can say, you know, watch out for this person?
KT.
Okay, a couple. And I mean, I wish that I had a lot of time to list them, but there is an actress. Her name is Ariana Ronpedrique. Is Venezuelan born, but lives in Los Angeles now. She's an incredible actress, and she's well known in Latin America, but not here just yet. And it's very similar to, I used to work with Demian Bashir when he was not for Better Life. And same with him at that point. He was well known in Mexico, where he came from, but not in the States. And I think she has a big career ahead of her. She has her film that she is leading, that actually premiered at South by Southwest this year.
Wow. Yeah.
It got distributed, and it comes out November 26th. A small theatrical release plus VOD. It's called IR, AYAR. She leads it. It's a great film. Again, you know, it's not, these films in Killing Eleanor and IR, they're not going to be, you know, the eternal. They're not Marvel, big boom splash. They're like heartwarming stories, things that are going to get in the feels. But she's pretty spectacular. You know, I have a lot of great clients that are, I would say, like in the midst of coming up in their careers. And yeah, I mean, if you go over to our Instagram page, you can see us.
What is that called? Your Instagram page? What would that be called?
It's at _PR. And you can see a lot of our various clients there and some of the press that we've gotten for them.
Are you okay with us promoting and linking that site?
Go ahead.
Okay.
So it will be on our website. It will be on our YouTube page.
Not like we can bring thousands, but I mean, anything helps, right? I mean, we're just getting started, and I would love to be able to push that on our thing as well as.
And the website is icon-publicity.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing, are you going to try to make us more of a splash in Nashville? I know you were there just recently. Are you trying to get more things going there?
We have two amazing,
Excuse
Gail Davidson and Ben Jackson. You know, they're quite lovely to speak to. Gail's originally from England, and Ben's from Australia. He actually just made the jump over here.
Yeah.
Last year.
All right. I love it. I love.
Yeah, they're kind of a dynamic duo with those amazing accents.
I lived in Melbourne for a couple of years. I can.
His mother's down there. His mother's lives in Australia.
Bear suck of the sauce bottle.
Oh my God.
Stop it.
But they're drumming up quite a bit of good business there. I mean,
it's awesome.
Eye for country artists.
They're country.
They're Nashville. Yeah.
Okay. I love it.
So Heather, if you get a chance, if you in the next few days, just email me a few of the people so I can put it on the YouTube and because
that'd be great.
So we have a website, we have Instagram, we have all that stuff. But I like people to see it because when they see this video, they might go, "I want to be famous," and I go, "That's the person you got to call." So
who are you gonna call?
Heather at Icon Publicity. Well, now I'm going to call Mayan Balick and say, "Do you know Heather?" All right, so here's the last thing though. What's going on with Jeopardy? Are they going to find? I mean, I don't watch the show, but it's been around for you. Well,
thought they
no, but
found
she's
somebody.
kind of filling in, but the guy got kicked off and story. So is she going to be doing it on a regular basis or what? Give us the scoop, Heather. The Jeopardy scoop.
I can't say.
Ah, dang it.
What
Are we
I
on the
can
right
tell
path?
you.
Are we on the right
All
path?
right, shh, shh, let her tell us. Shh, shh. Okay.
What I can tell you is that in 2022, you'll see her doing the ABC Primetime Special Jeopardy, which is the
Ooh.
They need, you know
Um,
what though? I feel like that they need to pull her in and let her do it. I mean, it makes more sense to me.
well, sounds
It
like
makes more sense to pull her up and bring another flipper back there. Maybe, why not have a guy turn the numbers? Why not have a guy turn
They don't
the
have any
letters?
numbers there. It's the
yeah, that's
computer.
Wheel of Fortune, my friend.
That's Wheel of Fortune.
What were we talking about?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
That's like Jack or whatever.
No,
his name is,
no.
right?
No, that's Wheel of Fortune.
Oh,
No.
well.
What I'm good at. I don't know anything. I can't do.
Okay.
I know.
don't
I
Jeopardy.
turned on
He didn't
Jeopardy the
tell
other
me nothing
day.
about the damn. Rick didn't inform me.
Nobody's getting rid of Vanna White. Come on.
No,
No,
go.
Vanna should be the head of it, and they should have someone else flipping that shit.
Okay,
They
so
should
we're
have
going to
Vanna come up.
say keep an eye out for prime time Jeopardy in 2022. That's all she can say. I can lead that up. We know stuff about Jeopardy.
I don't even know Jeopardy. I'm not smart enough to watch
No,
Jeopardy.
I watch that stuff and I said no.
You'd be
But
surprised.
Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been amazing
course.
talking to you. And the next time I'm in California, I'm gonna hit you up. Let's
Yeah. You
let's
bet.
hang out. For
Got
sure.
it.
all right, folks, that's the. This is going off the wall. I mean, this is it.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, it's okay. Heather, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You're welcome.
And I mean with all sincerity, it's a pleasure to meet you
Yeah.
finally.
You're
and one day we
amazing.
will get
I
to
know.
some.
Absolutely amazing to meet you.
Thank you so much. So good to see you guys.